my grievances with the Joker movie kind of is synonymous with my grievances with the DC universe in general. For me, right, I think that where they get wrong at is the fact that these movies take themselves too seriously. It's like you can go and watch a Marvel movie and then you can get a laugh. Like you'll get like multiple different you'll go through a range of emotions seeing a Marvel movie. Particularly a good one because I don't know how people feel about Ant-Man, but I know like when you go see Avengers Endgame or what I'm saying, Infinity War, all of that, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna, what I'm saying, you're gonna be on the edge of your seat, what I'm saying? Whereas a DC movie, it's almost like watching a documentary that happens to be about superheroes.
Right.
Like they just be mad like wooden and gray. Like they just take themselves too seriously. And when they try to be funny, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Like
True.
I can't think. I mean, I've only seen Aquaman once, right? But like I can't think of like one moment that I thought was funny in Aquaman. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of one moment that I thought was fun or like I didn't have fun. I don't have fun watching these movies. It's like I'm literally sitting there to like watch a serious ass movie. Like why is it that I'm going to a movie and then it's just mad like serious? Like aren't these movies supposed to be fun? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I get that. I get like the action, aspect of it. But it's like the only time that like you're on the edge of your seat or you feel engaged is when they're fighting, but
Right.
not when they're actually like having a conversation. Because like, how do y'all feel about that?
I agree
Well,
though. Like honestly, when it comes to DC, that's why I stick to their animated movies, their animated shows even, because you get the humor in the animation. You get the humor, you get the action and the seriousness. Like
Mm-hmm.
they do animated movies way better than they do live action anything.
you know, we talked about this in depth before. Again, I'm a little biased because I grew up. I still watch Justice League Unlimited. That's one of my all-time favorite animations. But my problem with DC is they don't spend enough time making these movies. I feel like they are trying to outpace Marvel and they're trying to do whatever they can to get ahead of Marvel. And I think that's the biggest issue because the editing a lot of times is terrible. The acting isn't the greatest. The plots aren't solid. The characters, like watching Justice League, was it was heartbreaking because when they have moments, they don't seem like a team. And I understand like they knew and they're trying to fill each other out, but it just always feels like acting. Like
An acting
Superman,
exercise,
right? Like
like
when
an
you
acting exercise.
right, it's like there's no chemistry. This chemistry with certain characters, but there's not chemistry with the team. Like the Flash doesn't seem like he's on board with Superman. Superman just seems like he's the all-time leader. Like he's just everybody bows down to Superman. And when you watch the comics or when you watch other movies, the Hulk, for instance, Marvel, the Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, they work together. I shouldn't say Hulk, but Dr. Banner. They all
Mm-hmm.
work together, and then they have their moments of shine and brilliance. And but when you watch these movies, like the whole Justice League movie was, we need Superman, Superman this, Superman that. And it's like Aquaman is powerful. The Flash is probably one of the most powerful people in DC, and he's treated like a comedy joke. So it's like,
Sidekick.
yeah, like a sidekick. Flash technically should be one of the top three of Justice League, but he's not. And the movies just don't add up. It's just when you watch Marvel movies, so much better. Like the acting, the cast, the comedy, the humor, the dark moments, it all blends. When Marvel
Right.
with DC is comedy one side, serious one side, and it's just like
You,
no blending of the two.
you
It's
know
terrible.
why? Because I feel like because the Dark Knight trilogy was so you know, like great, like well received, and just did billions of dollars in the box office and all of that. They want to repeat that formula. The thing is, the Dark Knight trilogy, in my opinion, was like literally what the Batman would be, and that whole like universe would be if it existed in real life. That's a
Oh
fact.
yeah, most
That's a
definitely.
fact. And I feel like that movie had to be serious because of the fact that it was so realistic. Because see, Justice League or like the Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman, like this looks like fiction. Like things
Mhm.
happen in that movie that wouldn't happen in real life. Whereas like shit, if you had somebody like Bane, like who physically could actually come out to be that way, had the resources, and was just that, demented, something like that could pop off in real life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people do shit like that already. You know what I mean? Somebody like Joker could actually exist. I'm talking about Heath Ledger's Joker. Like if somebody was just psychologically pushed to that point, and then like, you know what I'm saying? Like that movie had an excuse to be serious. And then even then there were certain things that were like funny because they were naturally funny. Like they weren't trying to be funny. Like us as the audience could just perceive that as funny and then laugh because we were supposed to laugh. You know what I'm saying? Justice League, like Jason, like I think we were talking on the phone. I was like, yo, Jason Momoa is not funny.
He's not.
And then even in the Snyder Cut, which we're gonna talk about, I think all the laugh moments were like up to him. Like it was his responsibility to make the audience laugh, and the shit wasn't funny. I think I said to you, bro, that Godzilla and King Kong had more personality than everybody in that movie combined. And mind you, Godzilla and King Kong, they could not articulate. They couldn't even talk. But yet I feel like I could describe the personality of Kong and I could describe the personality of Godzilla. I couldn't tell you the personality of Wonder Woman, Flash, freaking Superman, Batman, because they all have the same personality.
Right.
A whole bunch of superheroes wearing costumes that take themselves too damn seriously.
Right.
To be honest with you, I never actually really watched Batman versus Superman,
which is a trash movie. You're lucky you didn't waste time.
League movie, because I heard that they're really garbage, and like the way like Ezra Miller is Flash, I don't see it at all.
No, I don't either.
He's like the Tom Holland of like the DCU, and like that's pretty sad, to be honest.
That's the thing.
And like the way like the movies are like made, like they look like just like dark and like tragic. Like it doesn't appeal to kids, or like it doesn't really appeal to really anyone, to be honest.
They don't flesh out like the backstories, the connections. Like that's the thing that we love about the MCU. They took their time to introduce everyone, then put them together, have them interact with each other naturally, like teammates would. They joke with each other, they fight with each other. With DC, they'll try to rush all of that into like 1 or 2 movies. Right. They'll try to rush what the MCU would have took 5 movies into and try to make it into like 1.
Yep, that's a fact. Yep.
And that's why, and that's why I said that's my biggest problem, is because they're trying to outpace Marvel. They're not taking it at their own pace, and when things don't go right, they recast, they get a new director to do it, and they try to shift the focus. What they need to do, like you said, Kamiko, is focus on these characters, because only so far Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman has movies, and Aquaman. You haven't heard nothing.
Don't forget Shazam.
Shazam, yeah, but he didn't fly, but. Flash,
he looked like a character that would be on the front of a cereal box. I wouldn't even go to that movie for free.
Not the cereal box.
Kind of gave me vibes.
Yeah, like that sounds like a cereal box. Come on, man.
Kind of gave me vibes of like Spider-Man Homecoming, or like a Spider-Man Tom Holland movie.
Yeah, that was definitely a kids movie. That's
like you have your mom ask you, "Oh, what did you eat for breakfast today?" "Oh, I had a box of fucking Shazams." Like, yo, this shit is trash. If I put a picture of Shazam right now on the screen, he doesn't even look like a superhero that you would take seriously. He looks like a mascot for like toothpaste or some shit, fighting germs and whatnot. Like, he's not no real fucking superhero. I think they have some shit coming with The Rock called like Black Adam.
Oh, I know Black Adam.
Yeah, that looks like what Shazam, where they were trying to go with it. Like, I don't know. Like, because I didn't see the movie. I don't even know if he's a serious character or if he's comical, but that shit looks straight comical. Because was it like a regular guy who turns into a muscular looking guy with that big ass red suit and the cape?
Yeah.
It's trash. That's trash.
Well, I think
DC Universe has nothing going for it.
I think the issue with Shazam was they didn't flush out the difference between Shazam and Billy Batson, because Billy Batson is a kid, but when he became Shazam, he was supposed to gain all these powers and the knowledge and the stuff of all the people he was possessing the power of. And they didn't do anything different. All they did was they gave a little kid a muscular body and kept the same attitude and gave him some powers. And it's like, but I see why they did it. It was for the kids. But that, again, that's my biggest problem with
trash.
What DC is, because they don't
listen to the fans. That's like the big problem. Like they really don't.
Well, the problem with DC, right? And the only reason why we like the MCU so much is because of Kevin Feige, to be honest with you, because they have somebody that has a thorough knowledge of the source material is a comic book guy his whole entire life. His life revolved around Marvel. So he was able to undertake the responsibility of coordinating a whole cinematic universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy, you know what I'm saying? And they rarely ever get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think the only reason why people don't like Ant-Man is because he's just not a superhero that everybody likes.
Yeah.
Me as a kid, you're gonna tell me, oh, there's a superhero that revolves around ants and like rides a flying ant. Shit, I don't like bugs, so I'm not gonna support a superhero like that. And the average person is not going to either, clearly, because I think that's probably like the lowest grossing, Marvel movie, like, period, as far as I know. But even that still gets, $500+ million in the box office. You know why? Because they get it right. You know what I'm saying? DC does not have a Kevin Feige like person that is gonna coordinate everything and knows like when to move certain pieces and where they actually go. You know what I'm saying? The same people, because if I'm not mistaken, is it like Warner Brothers and Sony that run the DC unit, right?
Yeah.
Sony is the same people that thought that an Aunt May movie, they were planning to do an Aunt May solo movie. An Aunt May solo movie. An Aunt May like, yo, come on. Like, these are the same people that thought that was a good idea, and they were really going to do that. I'm talking about when they were planning, when they were planning on doing Venom, they were going to do a Sinister Six solo like thing, Venom, and a fucking Aunt May solo movie. Not even the hot Aunt May that we all know from fucking MCU. We're talking about like the fucking Aunt May from the Amazing Spider-Man. Who the fuck wants to see that? Yeah, from the Amazing Spider-Man. Like, do you even remember one line she uttered in that movie?
Nope.
At least in the MCU, they made it so like Aunt May wasn't just like the old woman that like Peter would see in between fights. So he gets into a fight, he sees Mary Jane, then he goes to Aunt May's house, gets some money, and then fucking goes. She actually has a personality. Like, we actually know Aunt May. I forgot what her name is in real life, but still, you get what I'm saying. DC doesn't have that, because when you have so many people, which really are the guys in suits, you have too many hands in the pot. You have too many ideas. You see what I'm saying? So Justice League, Batman versus Superman, the Snyder Cut, whatever it is you want to call it, Aquaman, Wonder Woman 1984. These are just the amalgamation of the ideas of like 50 to 100 people. You see what I'm saying? Instead of it being like 3 people. You have the writer, the director, and the producer, the executive producer. Nah, you have a whole bunch of people with so many ideas, and then you have a movie that's trying to be 100 different things all at once, and you never get it right. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to continue on doing that because I feel like they still haven't figured it out.
Right. And that goes to my point. DC needs to make up their mind. Like we talked about before, when you think about MCU, you get the same 5 to 6 names: Kevin Feige, the Russo brothers, Josh Whedon, Happy Hogan. I forgot what his real name is. It's usually the same 5 to 6 people involved in these movies. Iron Man is directed and produced by the same people, so as the Avengers. What DC is doing is they're getting different directors because they have all different divisions that they want to go to. Wonder Woman has a different director than Batman. Batman has a different director than Man of Steel. Man of Steel has a different director than Justice League. So everybody's vision is way different. You get Man of Steel was, honestly, again, I may be a little biased, is one of my favorite movies. But when you watch Justice League, it's like, what the hell is this? Like, just completely different tone. And I think Zack Snyder vision would have been better if he would have stayed on board. I understand his tragedy, none against him, but when they brought in a new director, even the actors are criticizing it because they're like, his vision is completely different than Zack Snyder's. Like, they went in a whole different ball game. The movie turned out to be trash. And then when you get Zack Snyder's cut, way more backstory, way more characters. Cyborg and Flash went from being the background actors to actually being Justice League members. You know what I'm saying? And they just need to slow their ass down, take a breath, and figure out what they want to do. Because all they're doing is just pumping out movies with no plan, no phase 1, no phase 2. They're just trying to compete. Martian Manhunter needs a movie. What the hell? Like, Martian Manhunter, Green Arrow. There's so many people in the Justice League that actually found the members that they haven't gotten to yet. And it always seems to me, whenever they make movies, the main person that they always bring up is Superman. There's no court, like, like Superman is the end all be all to these movies. It's like, what about the Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman? Like these are founding members, but it seems like the focus is Superman,
Which is garbage.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Garbage.
And I love Henry Cavill. If they recast him, I'd be disappointed, which I think they are. But again, that's what I mean. They get a new director. They want to shift the focus, so now they don't. Apparently, they want to recast Superman again. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
right.
So now you're gonna have a new Justice League movie with the same Flash, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, but a different Superman and Batman.
Right.
Come on.
So so me and you, bro, like 2 weeks ago, however long ago it was, we talked on the phone for like a minute, and we were dead ass talking about the potential of a Static Shock movie. So the fact that Michael B. Jordan is executive producing, the upcoming, Static Shock live action film that they're gonna do, and I tagged, Percy and Jerry in a post where Soldier Boy was talking about, about him trying to be Static Shock, right? For me, I think, and we talked about this, so I'll give people a little bit of insight on how I feel about that. The Static Shock movie, if they do it right, they have the potential to literally revive or like give a shock, no pun intended, to the whole DC universe. Like they could literally like shock it back to life if they do it right. You know what I'm saying?
The show was like amazing.
What'd you say?
Yep.
Oh, the show, right? Yeah, like they, and I forgot, like what was I saying before? Because I was saying that it has to. Damn, what did I say?
When we was talking about how it has to have that nitty gritty city feel, that that black feel.
Yeah, but not too serious. Like they can't, because they can't go all gritty and then it's just like an African American horror film. But in this movie, the black people just happen to have superpowers. Nah, like they have to get that. He has to literally be on some like he has to be the Miles Morales of the DC universe. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to do it absolutely right. They have to have the music. They have to have like cool parents. Like they have to do everything right. But my fear is that, I mean, honestly, Michael B. Jordan has been involved with Marvel. So, and when you're an executive producer, you have a certain say. So I hope that he's going to bring the same, what the elements of what makes a Marvel film, a good one at that, to Static Shock. If they don't, the movie's going to be trash. And then it's just going to, be another one that bites the dust. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have, as much as I love DC, I don't really have high hopes for it just because of their track record. And Static Shock, and I was saying this before, it has to have that Luke Cage, Avengers feel. It has to have that hood, not ghetto, but that hood, he's in a project, he's amongst the people feel. And then when he becomes the superhero, he needs to be treated like that. I don't know, with DC's track record, they can't even get a freaking Justice League movie right. They can't even get a Wonder Woman movie right. So
those movies should be easy because you have multiple superheroes in them.
Right now, we talking about a black superhero who's supposed to be like Black Panther. Give it to Marvel. As much as I hate it, let Kevin Feige come on. Let the Russo brothers come on. Let them, do their due diligence. And
that'd be some shit. They're just like, we can't get this right. Like, y'all make the movie for us. Nah, honestly, because it might have to come to that. Because I really don't remember like all. Because basically, I feel like if they were in on that phone call, they would have had all the ideas that they could have, all the elements to make a good Static Shock movie. I can't remember for some reason. I literally can't remember because it was so long ago. But all they literally have to do is just like copy that formula. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it too seriously. Add some color. Like, put some fucking color in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because certain film critics, I think when they critique a movie, they mention the color, like the color scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marvel movies to be very vibrant and colorful. Like, they just have a lot of color. Like, look at freaking Infinity War. Like, damn, like, what the fuck? I can't find this shit. Where's the shit at? Damn, yo, I can't find it. Where's it at? I don't know. But basically, a lot of Marvel movies to have lots and lots of color because that's what you remember them for.
Right.
Yeah. Right, the color.
DC movies like all dark and gritty.
Right, like Batman is supposed to be like that. It has to have that toned down, real black feel because that's basically his character.
See, look, all that color. This is mad colorful. You see what I'm saying? Like it just pops out. If you go to the movie section in Target, and then like the DVDs and Blu-rays, first of all, they put all the superhero movies in front, particularly the Marvel ones. You know why? Because the colors are so colorful. Like it's just like a colorful. It's like it looks like a rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Like whereas DC movies, there ain't no color in there, and even if there is, that's not what stands out.
Yeah,
they just get everything wrong.
I mean, every DC movie that I think of is black and white or is very dark. You know, even Wonder Woman. I have maybe a moment where you get a flash of color, but it's still black and gray, very neutral, very dark and gloomy. And it's like the good thing about the DC Justice League was they actually had some color. The Flash's costume was by far the best thing because it was the first time you actually see some color in it. But the whole Justice League movie, even the Snyder cut, as much as I love it,
was black and
white, dark and gloomy. Aquaman, the movie itself was just blue. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? Like,
yeah, they just get shit wrong.
Oh, most definitely. But again, I think it's an issue of them trying to outpace themselves against Marvel. Don't compete with them. Y'all have a different ball game than Marvel do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a team just like Marvel does, but they're different. Treat it like that. You don't have to be neck and neck because this money didn't be made everywhere. You know what I'm saying? A movie like Batman versus Superman should have easily been $1 billion, and it only grossed what, 500 million. So it's
like 700.
Yeah, and it's like,
which is a failure because again, you know, they put a lot of money into a movie like that, and they expect it to do like $1 billion plus, and when it doesn't do that, I'm surprised they're still even making these films because they keep on failing.
Yeah. I mean, fucking Ant-Man, as garbage as Ant-Man is, no offense to Ant-Man,
that's better than those movies,
but still making close to $1 billion. It's just testament how they make their movies. That's why Marvel is just been dominating because they take their time. They understand, all right, this movie has to work with this movie. They put Black Panther Civil War because they knew they was going to make a Civil War movie. Not Civil War. They was going to make a Black Panther movie. So they have their hands in different pots, but they keep it all together. Now, DC, they got the pot over here, they got the water over here, they got everything all scattered, and they're just trying to grab everything and put them together at some point, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.